If you're anything like me, whenever you browse through games and search for your next gaming adventure, you tend to overlook visual novels or just gloss over them and not give them a chance. Well, I used to be like that even when I started playing Andromeda 6. I was a little bit ignorant towards visual novels as I can't remember playing one before Andromeda 6, and I've always thought that visual novels aren't for someone like me, a person who really enjoys first person shooters, strategies, and puzzle games. I thought Andromeda 6 was gonna be a cringy yet funny experience, the only saving grace of it, in my eyes, being the sci-fi backdrop that the game uses as a theme. What I thought was going to be an absolute cringe fest turned out to be the most poignant emotional experience that I've had in a long time when it comes to gaming. Once the game broke the ice, what opened before me was a world of elegant world building, well thought out character development, beautiful visuals, and incredible music, and all of this in the limited format of an indie visual novel that doesn't have the advantage of a huge AAA team or a sophisticated game engine with 3D graphics. I hope that if you take anything away from this video, is not to hold any preconceived ideas and to give a chance to something that you wouldn't normally try out. What I thought was not for me turned out to be one of the best games I had ever picked up, and a game that really will stay with me for quite a long time. It might turn out to be something like that to you too. You'll never know until you try it. And a little bit of a warning here, this video will include some spoilers for the story of Andromeda 6, so beware. If you're here, you're most likely aware of what a visual novel is, but just to recap, a visual novel is a video game that blurs the lines between literature and video games and merges them into a hybrid of reading and viewing detailed still images, mostly drawings, but sometimes photographs or video. Visual novels focus on the plot and the artwork and less so on things like movement, high-end graphics, or fighting. Now onto the graphics. Games like Andromeda 6, and by that I mean otome-like visual novels targeted towards women that is, are centered on plot, and the graphics are not as important as in AAA games, but also still hold quite a big significance as most of what the player will be doing is examining each page of the visual novel. It's in the name, they're called visual novels for a reason. Visuals are important, but not at the center of what the game is about. When it comes to Andromeda 6, the art style is unique in the sense that it doesn't look borrowed from somewhere else. It isn't at all reminiscent of Japanese anime art style forms, unlike many other visual novels, but it rather takes on a different approach when it comes to the visuals, an approach that is very well thought out in my opinion, even though it can be risky in the visual novel market. The background art is incredibly detailed and at times even stunning. The colors are always on point when it comes to representing the mood of the scene and setting the tone. Each of the characters has a one-of-a-kind look and a feel to them that perfectly fits their personalities. The faces often represent what the character is feeling, therefore adding more dimension and depth to the whole gaming experience. My only criticism here will be that the character models don't have enough variation. I would have liked to see each gesture and facial expression that was described in the text, including things like the gunshot that was not visible on Vex's body at the end of episode 5. But overall, the visuals do an amazing job of standing their own ground and rivaling the other elements of the game, which we will now discuss. Music can be a make or break element to visual novels as it really sets the mood for what is happening at that specific point in the story. In the case of Andromeda 6, the music is subtle, yet noticeably good and appropriate. Now, I'm no musician, so I don't want to pretend to understand anything about the details of the quality of the sound design, but all I can say is that I am more than impressed with it, considering it's an indie game with not a lot of budget. Now, I did get a copyright claim on a part of the music in the main menu of the game, but other than that, the music of Andromeda 6 is truly amazing. Gameplay. Andromeda 6's gameplay flows smoothly and without any bugs, crashes, or jarring scenarios, at least in my experience. You can save and load at any point in time, giving you the option to pick up the game or leave it whenever you please, as it is not based on checkpoints or autosaves, which a lot of games rely on. The music and sound is fully adjustable to your preference, which is very good as a lot of indie games I've encountered lack such options. And now onto the replay value of the game. As a game based on choices, Andromeda 6 has a huge replay value. It is a dating simulator, so Andromeda 6 gives you the option to choose between multiple love interests or none at all, giving you the option of a non-romantic route if you're not interested in dating any of the characters. My biggest critique here is that there are a couple of times in the game where you expect to have a choice but are not given any, and this can be a little bit disappointing when you're playing a choice-based game that is supposed to be influenced by your actions. However, I fully understand that this is sometimes needed to progress the plot in the direction that the developers think is best, and I do trust their decision on all of these occasions. I would have just liked it to be done in a more subtle way rather than the decision to be made right in front of my eyes without any option in my arsenal to affect it. And speaking of choices, the best one in the game is at the very end of episode 5, where you make the final choice of a romantic interest. Up until then, you can romance whoever you like, even multiple people at different times, which is what I did. But this last choice solidifies the rest of the game for you, and I believe this is a good thing, as it puts everything into perspective and really makes you think hard about the choice you want to make. That's how final it feels, like something you can't escape. Some choices in the game, however, do feel a little bit meaningless and seem to either loop you back to where the developers want you to go or just not leading anywhere, therefore erasing your choice entirely. But overall, choices do truly matter here, and the criticisms I have are limited only to a couple of choices throughout the entire game and are not representative of the entire experience, nor do they spoil it in any way. The game has huge replay value as it is choice-based, giving you the option to go through it again with different choices and getting a different result at the end. Without giving away too much of the story, it is genuinely one of the most interesting stories I've ever seen in an indie game. It is captivating and the writers give away just enough at the appropriate times, but also hold back in order to keep you wanting more. The pacing is perfect and the story has unexpected twists and turns, most of which you won't see coming at all. One thing I want to mention is that in the first few episodes, romance is not the driving force of the game. This isn't an R-rated cash grab, it's a carefully crafted story that lets you figure out both the characters and yourself before making you choose something irreversible, for which this game deserves a standing ovation. My personal opinion of this game is quite high, as it has given me the opportunity to experience a new genre that I've always glossed over and underestimated, and it proved me wrong. To be honest, speaking to some of the developers of Andromeda 6 is really inspiring and was a teaching experience on dedication and hard work. I want to personally thank the developers for making this game and putting in so much effort, and also apologize for initially dismissing the game due to my ignorance. So that was my review of Andromeda 6. Keep in mind it's my first game review ever, so if I missed something or was bad at explaining another thing, then it's totally on me, but I really just wanted to share this with you and hopefully get more people playing the game and supporting the developers. If you are interested in watching my Andromeda 6 gameplay videos, I'll leave a link to my full playlist in the description so you can go check those out. If you liked me, subscribe and smash the notification bell to get notified for all of my future videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.